Okay, now I'm going to give you the straight dope on what could happen to the storm. There's different models are showing different uh, stuff with the storm. And again, the main thing with the storm, if Pennsylvania, New Jersey is going to get any snow out of this, well, any amount of snow out of this, is the timing has to be there for Wednesday night. It can't be during the day, and it isn't going to work. It has to be during the evening hours when we lose that temperature in the sun. Anything after maybe 6 o'clock, we have a better chance of it changing over. Now, this is where the Canadian model has the low pressure system situated around noon on Tuesday. And you can see unfortunately, it's kind of going to break up and reform off the coast. But the problem is it's elongated. So if this were to come off the coast and just be all connected into one storm in phase, you would have that big storm. Now, this takes you to around 10 o'clock Tuesday night, and you can see the low is getting started. It's already down to 990 here. You got a second storm back here, which is taking some of the moisture away, but this storm has got a mind of its own, and as it moves north, you can see it kind of sits there. I'm going to show you now. This is where it sits. See, this is where it sits Wednesday night around 8 o'clock. Okay? Now, that's the good timing for this storm because that would mean that a lot of the moisture would back up as it moves off. This takes you to around 4 a.m., and you can see it really hasn't made a lot of progress. It has deepened some as it's moving, and then it kind of meanders off. This takes you Thursday around 11 o'clock in the morning, and you can see it's very slow moving. It's now Thursday afternoon around 2 o'clock, and then as you can see, it slowly goes north until it gets up off the coast of Cape Cod, Nantucket out that way. And this is Thursday night when it does that. And it really deepens out here. And I'll show you some simulated radars that show this thing almost with an eye. Now, this is your rain totals and snow and everything mixed together. This is the moisture totals. And as you can see, the state gets really covered in it, 2 inches plus. Some areas where these thunderstorms form could be even higher than that. And then in Jersey, you're also talking 2, 3, maybe up to 4 inches of rain. So pretty much a heavy rain. And also with the storm will be higher winds. But let's look at snow totals first before we get into the winds. I'm going to show you the different models because, again, every model has this being in a particular place. So the placement of the low off the coast and the timing of it all coincides to how much snow you get. And right now, they're all pretty close, but they all give a little bit different of results. Now, this is the Canadian model. Canadian model's been calling for more snow than the other models. Um, some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. I think these numbers up here might be just a little too high, but I'm not putting out any idea that the Poconos, especially the higher elevations, can get 6 inches plus. Some of the other areas, like South Stroudsburg here, maybe a couple of inches. Northern New Jersey, 2 to 3 inches or so. Very heavy snow not too far to our north, again, which has been the case. And the ski countries get a lot of snow. Then that's the Canadian model. Now, this is the GFS model, the US model. It pulls it north and less snow. Actually takes Jersey almost out of all the snow and puts, again, the heavier snows back up here. They all agree. I think it's just the southern part that the models just are not catching on. So this is the GFS. Now I'll go to the Euro. And this is the Euro model, which isn't too bad. Still think there's more up here in northern New Jersey, but again, you can see they're pretty much all pretty close. And again, this is spread out over days. So what falls at night, Wednesday night especially, will probably melt during the day on Thursday, and then you get a little bit, still get that backlash coming in, and you get a little bit more snow. So these are kind of like totals and snow. Now these are wind gusts. This is Tuesday afternoon as some of those thunderstorms come across the state. Now, if a thunderstorm does develop in your area, you could have higher gusts just with the thunderstorm. But this is on average, and you can see basically you're in the 20s, maybe some 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts on Tuesday. As we get into Tuesday night, towards the morning hours, you can see they do pick up on the ridges and stuff like that, and there could be some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts up on top of the ridges. Otherwise, elsewhere, 25 to 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And then as we go further in time, this is Wednesday around midday, you got some 50, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on top of these mountains up here in northeastern PA. And in Jersey, you got some wind gusts in the 40s, and that's pretty strong. And off the coast, probably even higher than that. And then you'll see it goes on into Wednesday night. You can still see this continues. Now, remember, if you get all that rain we're talking about, and then it tries to turn the wet snow up here, and you got these winds, power outages could happen. I'm not saying they're out of the question, but it could happen. And then as this starts to move away, at least the main part of the low, this is, let's see, this takes you to Wednesday night. As we go in the overnight hours, you can see it kind of die off wind gust wise. But you got to remember there's going to be a wraparound effect. Now I've zoomed out to this to show you how the storm is going to drag out. Now we've had the thunderstorms and the rain come through on Tuesday and all, Tuesday night. And then this is Wednesday where it's got the high winds. And this is like dinner time on Wednesday. And you can see the very strong winds off here. And you can watch how the winds are tunneling through Long Island Sound here. Then as you can see, it starts to pick up and starts to get its act together off the coast of New Jersey. This is Thursday night around 1, 2 o'clock. And you'll see these winds really pick up. Look up here, you can see these winds up here, 60 mile an hour plus into the 70 range. This would be Thursday morning, and that's when the winds back off in PA, but don't give up on that fact. Winds will return, and you can see this thing literally start to form an eye up here as we get into Friday. So it's kind of see it spinning up there. If you can see it, it spins, and before it starts to move away. And we look at the precipitation while this is going on. Hang on. Now, this is Wednesday night, and I'm taking this further out so you can see how it works. You can see how long the storm is as it's stretched out here. This takes you overnight on Wednesday, and that again, the changeover depends on the positioning of the low and how much we get. But this right now on this model, you can see once it gets off here, it starts to form bigger out here and blow up. It really turns it into a pretty good snowstorm, especially in New England. But as I'm trying to show you here, here's Thursday evening, and you can see there's rain to the south, but you can see snow to the north. So it's not something that's going to be snowing all the time. And then on Friday, you can see the same thing happens afternoon. It literally, starts to snow again. And these are lake showers and flurries and things like that. So that snow total, as I told you, is carried out over a period of time. And then as you get into Friday night, it kind of just backs up. But you still got a lot of return air during the daylight hours where it could bubble up and throw some flurries and some squalls back into Pennsylvania, into New Jersey. All right, I'm going to do another video on this tonight around 8 o'clock. I'll put it out there. But this was just a quick video I'm putting together for you around the noontime hour on Monday the 1st.